We realized we weren't loving ourselves. We were loving the image of ourselves. The Narcissus story is not about loving yourself. It's about loving an ideal version of yourself. Once upon a time, there is a young man, and he is walking through the forest. His name is Narcissus. And Narcissus is a beautiful young man, and everyone tells him that. People fall in love with Narcissus constantly. And Narcissus just brushes them off. One afternoon, he notices a pond. It's a nice, quiet pond. So Narcissus just kneels down and sits by this quiet pond. He leans in for a drink and just freezes because he falls in love instantly, my friend, with this person that he sees in the pond. Narcissus just sits there, he waits, he starts to neglect everything about his life, and slowly Narcissus just wastes away. He just spends all his time staring at himself in the pond, basically. And that's the story of Narcissus. That's where we get this word narcissistic disorder. I just wanted to make a connection here because this very pond that Narcissus would found in the forest now sort of sits, in our pockets. We wake up, before our feet touch the ground, we reach for it. We open this glowing pond every day, and there it is, in our hands, in our pockets. And it's our reflection, except now the reflection has filters on it. There's better lighting now. There's sharper angles now. There's just smoother skin now. And then there's a caption that sounds wiser than the person in the picture that wrote it. But people gather around this pond of ours. They tap, they put those hearts, they put them likes, and something inside of us then says, there I am. That, my friend, is where the story of Narcissus begins for us as well. And at first, it's harmless. It's just a photo I posted. It's just a post I put on. But then slowly what happens is we start to wait. How many likes? How many likes did I get? Who watched it? Who commented? Or even worse, who didn't comment? And so we just stop noticing this. And our moods start to converge onto the results that we're getting on this false pond, this social media pond. And so that's where external validation sneaks in. But it sneaks in so quietly. We're no longer asking, do I like this? We're just asking, do they like it? And here is the problem, my friend. That reflection cannot. It just can't love us back. It can only reflect and not always accurately either. So then something else happens. You start looking at other people's ponds, their reflections, and their lives. You start to look at their vacations, their bodies, their relationships, their just brought our dream home and 25 announcements. And it's just craziness. And suddenly, sometimes, what happens is that we wake up and the reflections we're putting on social media don't sound as impressive because earlier we were just doing external validation, but now comparison has taken root in our mental forest. And comparison can be ruthless. And we're comparing our Tuesday to their best moments in 6 months. And so we don't even realize, and the rules of this game are rigged. So now the identity gets shaky. Identity is already a shaky business, but now it gets even shakier. Because if our sense of self is built around how the reflection looks in the pond, what happens then when the lighting is bad? What happens when the post flops and you don't get the likes? What happens when someone criticizes us? Cracks start to appear then, and the identity and its fragility is revealed. We realize we weren't loving ourselves. We were loving the image of ourselves. Narcissus didn't fall in love with who he really was. He fell in love with what he saw. And this is a crucial difference. People don't realize that the Narcissus story is not about loving yourself. It's about loving an ideal version of yourself that you see in the pond, or in our times, in our social media, container that we've built. And that is the illusion of a perfect self. the edited self, the optimized self, the always on self. But here's the quiet truth, gentlemen and ladies. The reflection has no depth. It doesn't show our doubts. It doesn't show our efforts. It doesn't show the kindness when nobody sees it. It doesn't show our discipline when it's boring. Our grief, our growth. It's so two-dimensional. But are we as humans two-dimensional? No, of course not. So the question is, what do? We can't smash the pond. The pond just exists in the forest. So the social media exists, that's fine. We just have to start thinking more critically and more deeply and realize that we cannot confuse the mirror for our worth. We post things on social media, by all means. Post it because you are enjoying it, not just looking for applause. And we often admire others without understanding what's behind it. So we got to build an identity that's more than just our videos, that's more than just our bad photos. We got to start to ask, who am I when nobody's watching? What feels authentic to me? The line that Narcissus, I guess, never heard, which is, be careful about who you fall in love with because they might not love you back, man. And so the reflection won't hold you when you're hurting. The follower count, that's not going to sit with you when you fail. The perfect image is not going to grow with you, but real connection with yourself is going to grow. And most importantly, self-acceptance has a way of growing as well. And of course, real life is always changing and is offering us opportunities for growth. Do look at the pond, but look at it in a deep way. And also, perhaps don't forget to look away. So I guess that's my message for today. And I wish all of you, wherever you are, a wonderful, amazing, beautiful, lovely day, evening, night. And I hope you create a wonderful next 24 hours. Adios.